Everybody. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and you're listening to Unicorns Talk. Unicorns Talk is a podcast about how to maneuver the ins and outs, ups and downs of the human experience. This podcast is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. Just anybody who is, interested in making their life a better place to be. I This is my first ever episode, so yay! Cue the audience applause music there. And so I'm super excited and a little nervous at the same time. But I'm really excited to get started and kind of introduce myself and things like that. So let's get started. All right, like I said, my name is Latrice Sampson Richards. I am your life enhancement coach. So, I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life purpose and relationship coach. And I'm just really interested in helping people live their best lives. And my goal is to really help as many people as I can for as long as I can. And I've been blessed enough to be able to do that over my lifetime. I really do believe, honestly, with everything in me, that this is my purpose in life. I think that I was made for this. I think I was created to do this work. And I use all of my skill sets in order to be able to be the best that I can, and help people get to the best place that they can get to in their lives. So that's pretty cool. Um, so I want to talk a little bit about Unicorns Talk. All right. Uh, you're probably wondering, if you don't know me, if you're new to the podcast or new to the Latrice experience, because it is an experience, people. I'm letting you know now, I am an experience. Either you're going to love me or you're going to hate me, but either way, I am who I am. But anyway, so if you're wondering about why unicorns, right? Why unicorns? So I have a website called the blackunicornproject.com, and the Black Unicorn Project is all about uniqueness. It started out specifically in the African American community. But I really think that, people of color in general, it's, specifically in the black community, because I am an African American woman and I love being African American. But, people of color in general, we have this uniqueness about us that the mainstream media, mainstream everybody, tries to put us down, and they don't want us to believe that we are as magical as we are. So they make us believe that we don't exist, that you can't possibly be cultured and intelligent and have an opinion and want to do things and stand up for yourself and all of those good things. And so I came up with the Black Unicorn Project actually about 4 years ago. I was in a really dark place in my life. I just was not in a good place in my life at all. And I had my private practice at the time, and it was doing okay. I mean, it had been open at that time about a year and a half, and it was doing okay for having only been open a year and a half. But it wasn't doing well enough to be able to sustain me. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But long story short, I was just feeling really down, and really, really dark, actually. And so I was living with my parents. I ended up having to move out of my place and kind of downsize to move in with my parents, so that I could keep the doors open, which ended up not working. But anyway, and I was contemplating having to close my office, which was an extremely, extremely difficult decision for me. And I felt like a failure. There's no way around it. I mean, I felt like a failure. I felt like, I like just at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. So anyway, I had been having these ideas because in the course of starting my private practice and trying to promote it and trying to get new clients and things like that, I started creating like different programs and marketing tools and things like that, and those things led me into other directions, and really showed me skills that I didn't even know I had, to be honest with you. But anyway, I have been having these ideas about different programs and ways to help people, and my creative genes, juices rather, were really kind of starting to flow. But I just kind of felt like I was all over the place because I was in such a dark place. I was really, really struggling to pull it all together. And so one night I was laying in my bed. Enjoying some libations. And anyway, so I was laying in bed, and I was on cloud nine, or a whole other cloud. I don't know what cloud I was on. I think I was on cloud 24. And I remembered one of my favorite artists in the world, and I was gonna say friend in my head, but I think we might actually be friends in real life. I mean, we're not like besties, but she knows my name. She knows who I am. Tariana Tank Ball from Tank and the Bangers. We're friends on Facebook, and I remember earlier that day seeing her post about a song with Two Chains and Sonny Patterson and Chrisette Michelle. Now, if you've never heard of Sonny Patterson, get your life, okay? Sonny Patterson is a poet. She is a mother. She's a wife. And she is just an amazing spirit. I've never had an opportunity to meet her face to face, but I have come within 1 degree of separation from her, like twice. And so, I did have an opportunity to share this story with her, not face to face, but, one of my degrees of separation was, hook me up or whatever. But I still would like to be able to meet her one day face to face. So, Sunny, if you're listening, girl, give me a call. But anyway, Sunny Patterson is an amazing poet. She's an amazing being. And I'm not really into Two Chains, but it is what it is. Not for any real reason. I just never really gravitated towards him. But anyway, so she had posted about this song called Black Unicorn, which I didn't know that was the name of the song at the time. And I was like, man, Sunny on it? I need to see this. I need to see this song. So I'm flipping through the channels, and you know how you just stop pressing the channel button on a remote and you just land on whatever you're landing on, like you don't really know what you're watching? Well, that's what happened, and it landed on Arsenio Hall show. And I don't really watch Arsenio either. I used to watch Arsenio back in the day, loved Arsenio back in the day, but the reboot, I wasn't that into it. So it landed on the Arsenio Hall show, and as soon as it stopped, he said, ladies and gentlemen, Two Chains, Chrisette Michelle, and Sonny Patterson singing Black Unicorn. And I was like, yes, this is the song. So I'm listening to the song, and the music is starting and stuff, and then Sonny comes in with just, oh my God, she brought the world. Like, she brought everything. And she says, as you spiral through the atmosphere, all they see is motion. They never see the tears. They never feel the pain. They always think it's nothing, but it's something, such a shame. And she just went on, and it was so dynamic. Now, it could have been the fact that I was on cloud 249, or it could have been, which I think it actually was, that those words were written for me, because in that moment it all just made sense to me. I made peace with my decision to close my office. I made peace with the fact that I had given it all that I had, and that it had not worked out, but I didn't feel like a failure, like I had been. I had a new vision. I had a new way of seeing it, and that was the Black Unicorn Project. And it just all kind of came together. All the ideas, the programs, the creativity, it all just kind of fell in line in that moment. And so I'm forever grateful to Sonny Patterson for that. But that's how I got the Black Unicorn Project. And I've just been rolling with it ever since. So a Black Unicorn, I think we're all Black unicorns. We are all mythical, magical creations that have something to offer the world. And I think that my role is to help us individually be able to identify what we bring to the table and to be able to heal ourselves and heal from our past so that we can really build the future that we deserve, both individually and collectively as a community, and so Unicorns Talk is us black unicorns getting together and dealing with some real issues, talking about things that actually matter, and trying to heal some things, and having a good time while we do it, because I enjoy a good time, y'all. I definitely do. So that's Unicorns Talk. It's us talking about life and love and happiness and relationships and sadness and foolishness and pettiness and all of that good stuff, and hopefully getting a little message out of it at the same time. So there you have it. All right. All right. So coming up next, I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be doing a segment that's going to be a regular here at the podcast, here at Unicorns Talk, and it's called hashtag Reality Check. Yes, Reality Check. So this week's reality check, I mean, clearly goes to Rob Kardashian and Blacc Chyna. Okay. So people have been asking me, like literally blowing up my phone, asking me about my thoughts on the whole Rob and Blacc Chyna situation. And I definitely have thoughts, y'all. I always have thoughts, okay? But it may not be exactly what you think it's gonna be. So here it goes. I think that I definitely feel sorry for Rob Kardashian. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him, but not because of the situation with Blacc Chyna. I feel bad for Rob because Rob is self-destructing. This man has been falling apart for several years now, and we have watched it. We have watched it on television. We've watched it in the blogs. We've watched it, even when he was in hiding, we still saw him falling apart, and nobody in his inner circle is either they're not trying to help him or they're not capable of helping him the way that he needs to be helped, which I think is probably a little bit of both, to be honest. I think that, Rob is struggling emotionally. I think he has some self confidence issues. Obviously, I think he has some issues with the way he sees himself, the way he thinks the world sees him. And, yes, I am a licensed professional counselor, but I have not sat down with him and held a conversation, so I can't say anything definitively, obviously. But I do think that he needs help. And I think he has been crying out for help for a very long time, and he's not getting the help that he needs. So if anybody out there, 6 degrees of separation, if you know him, give him my card, tell him to give me a call so that he can get the help that he needs. If not me, then somebody. I think that in the beginning of the relationship, okay, when we first found out that Blacc Chyna and Rob was together, I said then, I was watching Wendy Williams, which I don't even watch Wendy no more because Wendy had did hashtag seem too much for a little while for me. But I was watching Wendy Williams and she was like, oh, Rob and Blacc Chyna are together. I knew then that this was not going to end well. It was clear that this was not going to end well. And I think in the beginning of the relationship, it seemed like they had a mutual agreement because it's clear that Rob has some serious issues with his family. I think he feels like a black sheep, and I can understand that. I've worked with, countless number of clients who feel like they are the black sheep. And honestly, I've had points in my life when I felt like the black sheep of my family. I think everybody has that feeling at some point or another, but he's really being affected by it. And so he has a lot of negative emotions tied to his family connections and his relationship with his sisters, his mom, I think even his dad to a certain extent, even in his passing. And so clearly, Blacc Chyna got issues with his family because they hate that woman. Oh my goodness. They hate that woman. It is crazy. All behind a dude, you know? But Black China, I think, wanted to hurt his family. Rob, I think, wanted to hurt his family. And I really believe with everything in me that at some point in time they came together, had a conversation about how they was going to do this. Because if you look back at those earlier videos and stuff that they posted together, it feels weird, you know, like it feels staged. It doesn't look real at all. I think somewhere along the line, Rob caught feelings. And I don't think we can blame China for that. Now, clearly, I'm not in their bedroom. I don't know what's really going on. I don't know what she's saying to him. I don't know what he's saying to her. So I'm absolutely not, trying to speak from a place of knowing or trying to say, like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is all speculation. But from the outside looking in, I think that somewhere along the lines, Rob caught feelings. And I think that that makes sense. It makes sense that it wasn't a whole lot that she had to say or do in order for him to catch feelings because he is coming from a broken place. I think Rob so desperately wants to be loved and wants to be accepted. And I definitely believe that he requires a great deal of validation, personal validation. He needs to feel like, or he needs someone else to tell him that he's great because for some reason he's not able to give that to himself, which is tragic. It really is. But that's what I think he's dealing with. And so it makes sense to me that he could catch feelings for her when she's showing him affection, even if it's fake affection. They're spending time together, even though spending that time together is really just in an effort to piss his family off. And he formed what he believed was a emotional, intimate connection with her, and I'm not sure that that was reciprocated. And herein lies the problem. I think Rob has a very difficult time being able to identify love. I think his locus of understanding of what love is skewed. It's throwed off. Rob throwed off. I mean, he come from a throwed off family. What like what else? How else could he really understand love? I mean, look at the family. Look at the Kardashians. Now, I stopped watching the Kardashians a while back. But if you look at the family, they all have horrible relationships. They have horrible relationships with each other. They have horrible intimate romantic relationships. They obliterate relationships. They don't know how to exist in healthy relationships. And on top of all of that, they're doing it on display for the entire world to see. So there's no opportunity for them to recalibrate and figure things out because it's all a show. It's all literally and figuratively, it's all a show. And so I'm all about vulnerability and putting yourself on display and being who you are and all of that good stuff. As y'all get to know me, you'll understand that, vulnerability, I think is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. One of the most important, I'll say, gifts that you can give to yourself. And I've had my own struggles with vulnerability over time. But it's one thing to put yourself on display, be confident in who you are, and say, you know what, I'm flawed, but I'm working on it, and I'm on this journey, I'm on this path, I'm trying to be the best me that I can. But it's a completely different thing to put yourself on display, being destructive, destroying relationships, destroying people's lives, and not having the wherewithal to take a step back and say, you know what, I need to figure some things out. I think the Kardashians need to come off of television and heal themselves. They all could benefit from having somebody to talk to and work some issues out because they all have issues, and I mean, we all have issues, but we not on national television and making money off of it. So that's my thoughts. That's my reality check for Rob Kardashian. I think to Rob, I would say, you need to recognize when it's time for you to take a step back and get some help. I hope that he gets the help that he needs. Again, if anybody out there is listening, 6 degrees of separation, or it might be a couple hundred degrees of separation, or whatever it might be, give him my information. Or, if not me, anybody. He just needs to seek some outside help and try to heal himself from the inside out. Because until he's able to face the issues that he has, he's just going to continue on this downward spiral. To Black China, girl, you know. And that's all I have to say about that. That's your reality check for this week. And I think it's just about time for us to wrap it up, for me to wrap it up. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. This is my very first episode of the podcast, Unicorns Talk. Plenty more to come. If you have any topics or anything you want me to talk about, shoot me an email at support@latricesampsonrichards.com. That's SUPPORT at LatriceSampsonRichards.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Latrice Sampson Richards, Twitter at LSamRichards, and Facebook Latrice Sampson Richards on there too. Follow me, share me, talk to me. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on Rob? And this whole Blac Chyna situation. I mean, I hope it gets better, especially because they have a child. And, that's who's the real victim here, is the child. Because poor little Tink Tink, both of her parents is throwed off. Hopefully it works out. So that's all I got for y'all. Hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking. Leave me some comments. Talk to me. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What would you like to hear from me? And until next time, be well.